Okay, I'm gonna try to like narrate over this because I want to point out when he's double speaking, when he brings up topics that he doesn't know anything about, and then I address them, and then he turns it around on me and be like, "Oh well, you didn't even know what this was." It's oh, I have to. This is gonna take a minute, so just bear with me, okay?
Bias to the globe. So land.
Also, if there's background noise, I'm sorry, I'm doing my mic and the recording, so I have it turned up a lot so that should drown out most of the background noise. And I'm in the McDonald's parking lot, so hopefully it's not like too much background noise.
Surveyors don't know how to survey land. Is that what you're saying? Oh, here we go. Hello.
What's up, bro?
You're a surveyor, you just said.
Oh, I didn't. No, that wasn't me. I didn't say anything in the comments.
Okay, what's up?
I'm a flat earther.
Yep, go for it. What's convinced you of this?
Well, sorry, I'm just getting out of bed, actually.
I didn't even have my contacts in. Like it was shortly after I was texting you, I got on this live. I was still like waking up. It's really funny. I can get like right into go mode, but I am a little like patchy at certain areas. I'll shut up now. I'm sorry.
When you were talking about plane surveying, right?
Yeah. Well, I think so, don't I? I'm not a surveyor, but I recognise that I'm not a surveyor. But I've spoke to surveyors and I've seen surveyors do live surveys and measure the curve.
Well, no, it's funny because if you even like look at the definition of plane surveying, they disregard curvature of Earth. We typically only survey from like 500 to 1,000 yards or feet, whichever, and the curvature of the Earth would not even be a factor at that point. So
no, if you're surveying a short distance, it definitely wouldn't be a factor. No.
Well, we can't survey with accuracy anything longer than that. So you're
suggesting that a land surveyor cannot detect when they're surveying land. It's impossible for them to detect any kind of drop from tangent with their theodolite and auto levels and everything they use.
If there was drop from tangent, yeah, you could potentially, but also there's like angular resolution and in the natural laws of convergence.
That face he made when I brought up angular resolution, that'll come up later. Just keep that in mind, okay?
Convergence goes downwards, does it? It would converge to a point at level.
No, it depends.
No, it doesn't.
Convergence in a hallway, for example, like it would go up from the ground and it would go down from the ceiling and to the sides.
It would converge into eye level if the Earth was flat. It wouldn't drop below eye level and go behind anything.
Right, that's where angular resolution comes in.
Yeah, angular resolution would make it converge into a dot at eye level on a flat plane.
No.
Yes.
It would take a mountain. Just hear me out. It would take a mountain, and it would make it appear to dip below the crosshairs of your theodolite.
Why below? Why would it make it appear to go below, not above, or to the side?
Because angular resolution makes things shrink
into a point at eye level if it's flat.
No, not necessarily.
Why would it go below? There's no reason for it to go below eye level.
Because does light have a downward bias in a medium?
Does light have a downward bias? It bends to the denser medium, doesn't it? But you all didn't. So you're going to use that now. So if we get onto refraction in this, are you going to accept that we don't see too far because refraction exists, or are you just going to use it in this instance because it helps you here?
Typical globe argument. I can invoke refraction when it's actually what causes things to happen, but I'm not allowed to use it for anything else, right? Like they're the ones cherry picking, but they project that onto you. It's like, oh well, you're going to use it to use your argument, blah blah blah. Like it's so sad, bro.
I wasn't trying to set you up with that, bro. It's literally just, we're talking about observations, which means we have to get into the physics of light. And unfortunately, yes, refraction is a part of that.
So if you measured higher and the refraction was negligible, there shouldn't be, like if you was measuring the top of a mountain, what's the refraction got to do with that?
When you're measuring the top of the mountain, how would you...
Seeing if the mountain has dropped because of the distance away that it is.
Okay, let's do a...
See, Baron's in the chat here. I'm going to invite him up because he's actually a surveyor.
You don't do one-on-ones?
Well, do you want to talk to someone that doesn't know about surveying or someone that does know about surveying?
Well, you're the one making the claim that the Earth.
Oh, so you're scared to talk to a surveyor, so you don't really know anything about this topic.
To Baron, but I don't feel like getting dogpiled, bro.
It's not. I won't speak. I won't say a word.
Okay. Well, we'll see how long that lasts.
I don't need to. Baron knows more than me.
He already spoke.
Hey, how's it going?
Because I'm answering your question. You're ridiculous.
You're still.
You look terribly scared at the moment. You're trying to get out of here any way you possibly. You're still talking. I'm gonna have to leave. I'm not gonna say another word from now.
Okay. Hi, Baron.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, long time no talk, bud.
Okay. I don't think I know who you are, but all right. So what about surveying? Are we confused about?
Confused? No, there's no confusion. He didn't understand that we assumed the Earth to be flat. He's the one that's confused. He admitted that he doesn't know anything about surveying, and he was the one talking about it.
So in what application would I assume the Earth to be flat? Like, run me through that.
Within like 500 to 1,000 either yards or meters.
Okay.
Which is typically the most that's the farthest that we can survey with any amount of like with real accuracy and precision.
Who is we?
Earthlings.
I'm definitely not part of that equation. So I'm out in the field right now surveying as we speak. I'm at work, and I can demonstrate my position.
What is your retort exactly?
My position is that you have a misunderstanding of what plane surveying is.
Then correct me instead of that.
Yep. So plane surveying is where we project horizontal angles onto horizontal planes. It's in the X and Y direction. It's the difference between the chord length and the arc distance along the ellipsoid. Has nothing to do with the drop.
Yeah, you measure it in arc minutes and arc seconds, typically arc seconds.
Right, but it has nothing to do with the drop. So if you were to pull up any surveying textbook, elementary surveying in theory to practice, it will define what plane surveying is, and it will tell you that the operation of leveling takes into account the spherical shape of the Earth in both plane and geodetic surveying.
Yeah,
you're talking about drop from a tangent plane, right?
That was my original argument, and he didn't understand that. I said if you even look up the definition of plane surveying,
there he has to interrupt me because I know his original argument is that plane surveying does actually take compensation for curvature of Earth. I'm telling you that they don't, because after a certain distance, the measurements become less and less precise. So in order to have a bias towards precision, we want to be precise with our measurements. They keep it within a certain distance, typically like 500 yards, I think is as far as I'm familiar with. Could be wrong. There's some flexibility depending on where you are, whatever. But there's a cutoff. Right? They don't go past a certain distance when they make a measurement because they'll lose precision, right? And that distance that they stay within just so happens to be within a margin of error where you would not have to take curvature into consideration, which isn't that awfully convenient, right?
Somebody does. Talk to him.
Yeah,
you're talking about drop from a tangent plane, right?
That was my original argument, and he didn't understand that. I said if you even look up the definition.
So what? Now somebody does. Talk to him.
You weren't.
But you keep bringing me into it. I'm not a surveyor. He is. Talk to him.
I'm only recalling what actually took place.
It's not relevant anymore. Talk to Baron.
Now that it makes you look bad, it's not relevant. Now that
it doesn't make me look bad. I'm not a surveyor. I'm not a surveyor.
The surveyor came up for you and agreed with me.
I don't agree with you though. So
thank you.
We have to
you just don't know. You don't know that was my argument.
Right. So all right. So at what point do we have to start accounting for the curvature of the Earth in the vertical direction? How many feet?
Vertical?
Yeah, the vertical direction. So up and down.
I wouldn't know. I'm actually not sure on that.
Okay. So then what are you talking about?
Well, in vertical direction, are you sure you don't mean horizontal?
I'm positive.
Okay, I mean if we're surveying the sky, I don't think we're measuring curvature.
We're not surveying the sky. I'm talking about the distance from the crosshair to the surface of the Earth. What distance along the x-axis do I have to start accounting for the curvature of the Earth? So if you took a line and you drew it tangent to the ball, and you went along that X, at which point would I have to start accounting for that drop?
Yeah, that was a sincere burden reversal. I think
I don't know what that means.
My claim my claim is synonymous with your claim. Is that when we do plane surveying, we don't take curvature of the Earth into consideration. So the burden of proof is not for me; it's for you.
Right. And I can demonstrate my position. I don't think that you can demonstrate yours, though.
Demonstrate that plane surveying disregards curvature of the Earth, even though it's the Webster's dictionary definition of it.
Yeah, I've got videos on my page showing the textbook definition of plane surveying. Plane surveying is in the X and Y direction. It's if you took a piece of chalk and you drew on the ground. What's the difference in length of that line versus the chord distance between those 2 points? That has nothing to do with up and down.
How do you... Well, you're the one who brought up verticals, so you're double speaking again.
There's 2 different directions in surveying. There's along the ground distances.
Dude, this guy just...
It has nothing to do with up and down, but he asked me what the vertical measurement would be. Like, bro, it's so... this is what these people do, and by the end of it, the audience is so confused that they don't know who... They just side with the popular guys. You know what I mean?
This guy just double speaks and the audience just falls for it? That's so sad, bro. So how do you compensate for angular resolution?
How do I compensate? Do you know what angular resolution is?
Of course I do.
Okay,
Please don't. I already had this whole conversation with the host. Please, let's not go through that again. How do you compensate
I don't know. I wasn't here for
I know you don't.
So tell me what... Okay. So I know what angular resolution is. So I'll give you my definition,
so
and
let's
then you
have
let
this
me know.
conversation in good faith and not do this trivia burden shift every time I ask you a question.
Let's have that conversation. So angular
Instead
resolution.
Of shifting the burden of proof every time I ask you a question, I would prefer to just have my questions answered in good faith.
Just let me know when you're done. Just let me know when you're done, and I'll answer you.
Please. What is angular resolution?
Okay, angular resolution is the angle that subtends the opposite side of the triangle.
How do you compensate for angular resolution?
You take the tangent of the opposite side divided by the adjacent side.
Meaning, right, he's saying that you take the drop from tangent from the opposite side, meaning the object that you're measuring, the object that would be shrunk due to angular resolution, and you divide it by the side of the position from which you're standing, right? Meaning you compensate for angular resolution. I can explain that in better detail later on if you need me to, but basically you're saying that like the object appears to shrink, it dips below the crosshair of your optic because that's what's causing it. You claim that to be physical Earth curve, and you're now claiming it to also simultaneously exist as angular resolution. It cannot be both, brother. It cannot be both, which is what I get into that in a minute, I think.
Explain that to me. Explain it better.
So draw a right triangle. Okay. The adjacent side of the triangle is adjacent to the angle. The opposite side of the triangle is opposite, and the hypotenuse is...
So essentially, whichever part of the when you look through your crosshair, and you have a few arc seconds of drop from the crosshair of from the optic to the horizon, that's what you're compensating for in angular resolution, because that's also what you're claiming to be as curvature of Earth. So there's more double speak.
No, I'm not making that claim. I'm not saying that angular resolution...
That is his claim.
...is curvature of the Earth. I'm saying drop from the tangent plane is predicted by 8 inches times a mile squared.
Which drop from the tangent plane is also simultaneously what exists as angular resolution. They take angular resolution and make it... It's the same thing they do with the human eye. The angular resolution of the limit of the human eye. It's the exact same thing, if that helps at all.
Angular resolution is if my eyeball can only subtend so much of the opposite side of the triangle. It's sort of like a big mountain. I'm looking at a big mountain in front of me right now that's about 30 miles away. As I get closer to that mountain, my angle to the mountain gets bigger and bigger on those smaller features, therefore allowing me to resolve it. That's angular resolution.
Yeah, I'm well aware of that. That's why I said...
Yeah, so it's just refining and making out and resolving smaller details on much bigger targets. That's all that is.
Right. Which is so you admit that you admit that when you move away from that mountain, it'll appear to get smaller.
Correct.
Okay.
So what does that have to do with it?
I love the host's expressions, bro. It's so funny because he was...
Yeah, because you was here pretending you know all about this and you don't even know what angular resolution is.
I was the one who brought it up.
Which is true. When I brought it up, it's no what am I trying to say? It's no coincidence that as soon as I bring up angular resolution and he himself does not know what it is, then he has to bring up an expert to agree with me, by the way. He agreed with me originally. And oh, dude, this is just so good.
In good faith.
The guy before me brought it up. Yeah, because you was here pretending you know all about this and you don't even know what angular resolution is.
I was the one who brought it up. In good faith.
The guy before me brought it up.
Huh?
The guy before you brought it up. And then ran away. I
wasn't here for that.
Like you wished you had.
I wasn't here for that. But at least two of us on panel know what it is. The host has no clue what he's.
Yeah, you sound like you sound like you really know what you're talking about.
You probably shouldn't do flat Earth lives, bro. You're not built like that.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't debate surveyors. You're not built like that.
Why? He's not.
Because you're getting exposed badly.
He just goes off on. He literally just goes.
Yeah,
off
he don't know what he's doing, does he? You should probably tell whoever employs him that they're just wasting their money on him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
No, because plane surveying doesn't take consideration for.
Says somebody that probably fills supermarket shelves.
But it does. Let's do this. How confident are you on that?
On what exactly?
On the plane surveying not accounting for the curvature of the Earth.
I would love to see it in real time.
I know, but I'm just asking what your confidence level is.
1,000,000%.
Okay, so you're willing to put money on that?
I'd give you like $50.
I say we do 1,000.
I'm saving up for a car, bro. I'm not gonna put $1,000 on.
This is where I actually, in hindsight, I actually kind of almost regret this. I should have just been like, yeah, let's make it 1,000. Let's make it 100,000. Because yes, I am very confident in this, but I just wasn't like, this is the tactics that they use. It's like, oh, you're not willing to bet $1,000, therefore I'm right because you don't want to waste money on this. But I also make a good point when I say that this isn't the first time that they made this argument. They'll always say like, oh yeah, we can bet on it, and if you can prove that the Earth is flat or prove that the Earth's not curving at the rate at which it's supposed to be, we'll admit defeat and we'll give you the $1,000 or however much money. But they never actually do. They claim victory even when they've been proven wrong. I can give you documented evidence of this happening. This has actually been taken to court before. A guy lost in court because over a flat Earth versus globe Earth thing, and he was a glober and he lost and he had to pay out. Even in a court of law, they can't prove that the Earth is a sphere. Think of that, right? And I can send you the PDFs on that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked here, but this is what they do. It's just like guerrilla warfare, guerrilla tactics to try to make you look like you're not a credible source, all because I'm not gonna gamble my money away on some disingenuous liar, right? It's me versus a liar. Right. And it's not even an objective gamble at that point. It's not objective. He makes a good point when he says, if I'm so confident it's not really gambling, then I would just win. Right. But it's not so simple because these people will just lie, claim that the angular resolution of the drop is actually Earth curve and just fool everybody. And then I look bad. Right. So it's a lose-lose, basically. There's no winning scenario in this. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'll end on that.
That's $50 is just really isn't worth my time.
Okay. Well, I'm not a gambling guy, bro. I didn't come here to gamble.
I know, but if you're confident you're not gambling, it's a for sure win for you.
Well, I know you're going to... Here's the problem, bro. It's the same with any other glober that says, oh, if you give me evidence that the Earth is flat, I'll give you $1,000. And then we give you evidence and you just deny it. And it's just going to keep running circles,
so I can
and you're going to claim victory. And then you're going to call me like see, like this, you have to interrupt me because you know I'm telling the truth.
Okay.
You're gonna claim victory and you're going to be like, well, Solly never paid me. And you're going to turn the whole community into a shit show for like 6 months until everybody forgets about it. It's a complete waste of time for everyone involved.
Dude, I'm
just trying to focus on the object in question. How do you compensate for curvature of Earth, and how do you compensate for angular resolution, and how do you decipher between the two?
Key word there. When you compensate for angular resolution and you compensate for curvature of the Earth, you conflate them with each other. You believe them to be the exact same thing, right? So how do you decipher the difference? And he never answers this question.
Do you want to see it worked out on paper and then measured in real time?
No, I want to see it in reality, bro. You could draw a unicorn on paper.
Yeah, go watch my videos. I do it all the time.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen your videos, bro.
I literally go out and I measure the Earth.
You can't just tell me how you decipher the difference between angular resolution and physical Earth curve.
Yeah, I just told you I use a right triangle.
Right, and that assumes a flat baseline, and if you don't compensate for angular resolution, and you
Correct.
actually conflate it for... You
Where
have to
is-
interrupt me, don't you? You can't let me finish. If you conflate angular resolution for curvature of Earth, then how do you decipher between the two? I mean, you're simply just conflating them. This is what you do, bro. I'm aware of you. I know who you are. You might not remember me, but like I'm not your average flat earther. I'm not gonna come up here and do this like fake L. I know there's a lot of people in the comments saying that I'm losing. Your host fucking thinks that I'm losing, but he's just trying to keep up intellectually because he has no business doing this in the first place.
Dude, I'm not interested in your fucking hot take and your anecdotal story.
Not
dude.
a hot take, bro.
It is. Like, do you have a question you want answered? Yes or no?
Yes, how do you decipher
what the
between...
fuck is the
how do you
question?
decipher... I'm gonna ask you the same question. How do you decipher between angular
I
resolution...
just told you. I
You just told me to watch a video. I usually...
No, I told you I use a right triangle.
A professional should be able to elaborate via vocabulary how he does what he does.
Okay,
right?
geometry. I use
That's
geometry.
a word. The geometry is the study of shapes, bro. It's
Correct.
mathematics in regards to shape.
And that's what you're talking about is shape.
I know that, but we're not actually... You're not giving me an actual breakdown. You're not dissecting
I just
what you're
did,
doing.
dude.
This
You
is
take
so...
the
I love-
tangent.
dude,
You
what?
take the tangent. You got to find what the angle is. You find that angle by taking the adjacent side of the triangle and dividing it into the opposite and hitting the arctan. That's the angle. That's your angular
What type of
resolution.
geometry do you use?
There's your perspective.
What type of geometry do you use?
Me, I use basic geometry. I use trigonometry.
Basic?
I use calculus.
Basic, like the Euclidean or non?
I use Euclidean, yeah.
You use
He uses Euclidean, which is specific to 2 dimensions. If you use non-Euclidean, you might have an argument, but even then you'd be begging the question. But like that's a good thing to get him to admit, is that he uses an Angel. I actually got the idea from Angels, so shout out to him, because he knows this shit just as well as I do. You use Euclidean geometry, which is simply 2 dimensions, right? So you're just measuring 2 dimensions. You're assuming the third, right? Even if you do incorporate it and you do turn it into non-Euclidean at some point, you would assume the 3rd dimension. That's a lot to get into, but like that's a hell of a thing to admit to when we're in a flat Earth discussion. Anyway.
Euclidean to find the dimensions of something with 3 dimensions. You use Euclidean.
Yeah.
Explain that to me, because that defies the laws of geometry.
Okay, so I set up my instrument. The horizontal projection inside that instrument's the baseline. Everything measured up from that, if zero's out in front of you, is an elevation angle. Everything subtracted from 90 of that elevation angle is your zenith angle.
You assume a zenith, though. When you could just... That could just be angular...
What do you mean?
Like, not assume a zenith, but you
Do
assume
you know what
drop.
a zenith angle is?
Yeah, I misspoke. I corrected myself. You assume a drop.
Good for you. No, I don't.
Though.
I don't assume a drop, man. I assume a flat Earth.
Because it could, like, how do you decipher between physical Earth curve and angular resolution? I've yet to have this question answered.
I just told you. It's the departure between the tangent plane and the surface of the Earth.
But that could easily be angular resolution. So how do you know which one it is?
Because I can calculate what angular resolution is to see if it matches what I'm measuring.
And if it measures to be exactly the same as the amount of curvature that you're claiming is in between you and the object that you're observing, then how does that...
Correct, and I will concede to you. So if you want, we can hook up, we can do it live. And
I just realized that he did concede. I didn't even catch that when I was doing it live. I must have not been fully awake. He did concede that you can't actually decipher the difference between what we call angular resolution, which is a known phenomena, and what you assume to be curvature of Earth, because they're synonymous with each other in all of your math, right? Like if you're just saying that the Earth is dropping, but it's also because of angular resolution, then which one is it? It can't be both, bro. It can't just coincidentally be both every fucking day. Every time you do this, it can't just coincidentally be both. I didn't realize I got him to concede, bro. I just won that. I won and I wasn't even awake enough to realize it. That's so funny.
you can demonstrate your position, and I'll measure it in real time, and we'll see who's right. I'm in Arizona, Tucson, Arizona.
Oh, I just left Arizona, bro. Like literally, like
that's too bad, man.
Ago.
That's too bad. You should have reached out to me. I would have met up with you, and we would have seen. We would have walked you through this step by step.
Walked me through it. Okay.
Yep.
Maybe I guess maybe we're done here, right? And
it kind of sounds like it. Yeah, it does kind of sound like it.
I mean, we can have respect now, right? Like we can respect each other. I think that's. What
I don't think I've said anything disrespectful to you.
Okay. Well, I just want to remind everybody that the host had to bring up a land surveyor to come up and agree with the flat earther. That's all I want to let everybody know.
It's funny how they always try and spin it at the end, and it's like, yeah, I just
It's
won
funny
that.
how you guys double think.
I just
into
won
thinking
that. Everyone can see that you just lost, and you just shit yourself from a bet, but you
At
won.
what point
But you
did I
won,
lose?
really.
At what point did
It doesn't
I lose?
matter.
How
Angels
did I
of
lose?
Shite. It doesn't matter. Angels of Shite and everyone else in the chat will still pretend you won, and you go and make clips of it.
How
So
did I
don't
lose,
worry.
though? Explain it to me. How
Because
did I
you've got
lose?
no
What did I
idea what
lose?
you're talking about, and if you thought you'd won, you'd have taken the bet, wouldn't you? I don't need to say any more than that.
My ability.
What?
My
What's that pause there?
My willingness to put.
Whoa, willingness? Where's your willingness with the $1,000? I'll do
This is
50.
the guy
I'll
that
do
you guys are
50, but I'm
rooting for, by
super
the way,
confident.
the guy who's
I'm really
talking like
confident
a
that I'm right, but I'll do 50. Do 1,000. You
The guy
lost.
that's barking like a.
You lost.
The guy that.
You
guy that
lost.
barks like a dog every time.
You
I speak.
lost.
Dude, you're not
You
built
lost.
like this, dude. You need to turn off your platform, bro.
Do
You're
I?
gonna get cooked. Like, wait until
You
like
ain't
somebody
cooking
like
me.
Caleb or Angels
You ain't
comes up
cooking
here, bro.
me.
I'm one of them ones too, bro. Like, I'm
You're
one
one
of
of
them ones
what
you
ones?
really don't want.
What, you're a fat piece of shit as well, like Angels? Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh wow, we just ad hom.
That's all I've got.
I know that, bro.
Yeah.
You haven't made a single concise argument since I came up here. You haven't made a single argument in defense of global.
That's
or an
because
attack
you
of
was.
flat Earth
That's
since
because.
my arrival.
That's because you were talking about something that neither of us fully understand. So I thought I'd bring someone up that actually does it for a living.
I brought up plane. You were the one
For a
addressing
living.
plane
Do you
surveying.
understand that people? Do you understand that people get paid? No, I'll do whatever I want. You go and do your own lives where you kick everyone that immediately tries to disagree with you like a bitch. I'm letting you sit there and talk, right? I don't do what you do. So
Yeah, you
I
probably
brought up.
shouldn't let me sit up here, bro.
Yeah, I
It
probably
makes you
should
look
because it's
awful.
really funny and I'm probably going to make some decent money out of it. So I'm actually going to let you stay there.
TikTok doesn't pay well, idiot.
Yeah, I'm live streaming this to YouTube as we speak, and that does. So thank you.
Oh, cool. Hi, YouTube. The Earth's not curving or moving through space. Copernicus said that it
Are you
had
all
to be
convinced
because it
now
would
on YouTube?
result in an emotional bias, but Hubble tension and
Are you all convinced now?
cosmological constant and the Hubble constant are off by a factor of 120. Look into it. We're not on a ball orbiting.
Yeah, and this guy's so convinced of that he won't bet $1,000.
Oh, I'll bet $1,000.
Oh, go on then.
that the Hubble constant and
Baron,
and
did
the
you hear that?
cosmological
Baron,
constant are off by
you're on.
120.
Baron, you got a bet $1,000. You two
Yeah.
going to shake on it?
Yeah, if you can prove that the cosmological constant and the Hubble constant are not off by a factor of 120, I'll give you $1,000.
Oh, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, okay. I wouldn't take that bet either. Oh, so is he wrong now too? Does he lose now because he didn't take a random
Well,
bet?
I thought
on
we
the
were
internet?
betting on the plane
Yeah, what's
survey.
that got to do with what you were talking about in the conversation?
I was giving a shout out to YouTube. I'm helping your viewership, dummy.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
what we
you
were
know, no
talking
one on
about.
YouTube has a single clue who you are, so how are you helping anything? You might be
that's-
TikTok
Do you
famous,
realize
but
it
no
doesn't
one
matter
knows
if they
you
know who
anywhere
I am or
else.
not. That's not my point. I'm not saying that people know who I am. I'm saying, do you
There you are.
realize
You're
that
saying
you
you're
don't have
helping
an
my
audience?
viewership. Oh, I've got. What's your name again? I've got.
Do you realize that
It's 4 letters, dumbass.
you don't
Hang
have an
on.
audience
Solly.
without flat earthers?
I've got Solly on,
you realize-
everybody. Please jump. Oh, look at
Do you
they're on. There's
realize that you
thousands
don't
now.
have an
There's
audience
thousands
without
have just
flat
come
earthers?
along
Like,
to my YouTube because if you're hot,
so
you're on.
You're so scared, bro.
You're
Do you
on my
realize you
YouTube.
don't have an
Yeah.
audience?
I don't have an
Do you
audience
realize you
without
don't have an?
YouTube.
Okay, can I talk? That'd be nice.
Nah,
Do you
probably
realize
not.
you don't have an audience without flat earthers?
Yeah.
You realize that?
Yes.
Like nobody's gonna sit
Thank
here and
you.
just let you tell them that the Earth is moving.
Thank
and they think
you.
they already
Thank you
know
for
it.
the
Unless you bring a
audience.
flat earther up here, dude. You cannot let me talk.
Thank you for the
Unless you bring a
audience.
flat earther up, dude, you're so bad at this. Unless you have a flat earther
Isn't
up here,
it funny that
your
you've all got
viewership
the
is-
exact same tactic? Oh, you're so bad at this. I'm cooking you, bro. You're so bad. Oh, will you bet on this that you just pretended you was an expert about? Oh, no, I won't bet on that. So why are you talking about land surveying? Why did you say that Baron was wrong about something? And when he brought up bringing up money,
I didn't.
you
He
ran
came up
away
and
from
agreed
the
with
bet.
me because I said you were
ran.
wrong. I
If he
said
was
you were
agreeing
wrong,
with
and then
you,
he came
why
up and
didn't
agreed
you
with me.
take the bet? If he was agreeing with you, why didn't you take the $1,000 bet?
Dude, okay, you have a fundamental misunderstanding. Can you go 2 seconds? You're about to interrupt
Oh,
me.
hang on a minute.
I knew it.
Yeah, I don't care that I'm about to interrupt you.
I know, dude. You guys are predictable. You're
Yeah.
about to interrupt
Oh,
me.
am
You're
I?
about to
What, a
interrupt me.
conversation that someone responds? Yeah, that's predictable. You're really smart. Yeah, you was
Mid-sentence?
predictably going to say something when I stop talking. Well, I'll talk all
I
the way
saw
through
it in
you.
your eyes, bro. You cannot. You have no patience. You have no debate skills. You have no etiquette. You have no logical consensus.
And
Like,
you
you're
have
nothing.
no good faith because you just told us a surveyor, he was wrong, and he offered you a money incentive to
didn't
prove
say he
it,
was wrong.
and you ran
I said
away.
you were wrong.
You ran away. No, I didn't bet you any money. You didn't run anywhere from me.
Can I
I'm not a
rehash
land
the
surveyor.
conversation
You know,
for
as I
anybody
say
in
this
the
all the
audience that
time,
might have
as I
missed
say
it?
this, I don't care. As I say this all the time, I
no,
know
you
how
don't.
stupid I am. Flat earthers don't know how stupid they are. That's the difference, which makes flat earthers stupider than me. So enjoy
hope
being
somebody
stupider than me
recorded
because
this,
you
bro.
think you could be a land surveyor. You think that you could go out tomorrow and be a land surveyor as well as everything else to measure the earth, everything, a physicist, PhD, you could do that just like that. You all think the same thing, and yet you sit there on TikTok daily with your cocks in your hands talking bollocks to everybody and expect people to be impressed. And when people ain't, you get all triggered about it and start doing what you're doing now. Oh, I'm cooking you. I'm going to come in your life. You can't even explain the sun's direction. Do you realise that? You can't even explain why angels have shot. Why don't you ask angels why the sun goes the wrong way where he lives?
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Where do you live?
The UK.
Well, then how would you know?
Oh, so ask him then.
I have. We've had this conversation. He's one of my friends, bro.
So it doesn't set left to right, or right to left, should I say?
Right? Those aren't directions, dumbass.
So if you're looking west, if I'm looking west and someone in Australia is looking west, will it set in a different direction to me, to him?
It depends on time of year.
I know I'm not ready for this conversation.
Clearly, brother. Clearly you're not ready. You fucking suck so bad, bro.
Am I? No. So
No, I know you're
so
not.
you
That's
don't
why you
think
shouldn't bring up shit that you can't
you
fucking fully
don't
address,
think
bro. You're not built like that.
what I've just said.
Called cardinal directions left and right. You just said cardinal directions were left and right, bro. You're not built like that. Shut up.
When you are looking west, both looking in the same direction. One, it will be going left to right. One, it will be going right to left. Anybody can make this
left
observation.
And right respective to what? What is left and right
West!
respective to? There
You're
you go.
both looking west.
Say it with your chest, bro. Say it with your chest.
You're thick as shit.
Say it with your chest.
Don't come up here pretending to be smart when you don't know what west is.
Do you guys see how he double speaks me into being the one
Double
I had to
speaks.
remind you what
I
cardinal
said
directions
west. All
That was oh my god, that was such bad double speak, bro. He says left to right, no mention of east or west, or vice versa. I'm the one who has to correct him on cardinal directions which are agreed upon, and then he says that I didn't know what west was. What the fuck? And people buy this shit. It's so sad, bro.
along west.
You said left and right.
What's Baron doing here anyway? Shut up. What's Baron doing here? You're boring.
This
This is
Baron.
You've already cited in your prisms.
You're gonna have to drop me, bro.
This is
This guy's. If I call you a retard, will you drop me?